Lesson 57 is about mixed number problems, and Lesson 57 is very similar to Lesson 56, except for the fact that we're going to have to write our own equations. Now, the first question says, 2 1/2 of what number is 7 1/3? If we want to go ahead and solve this problem, we're going to have to know that the word of means to multiply, and the word is means equal to. If we know those two things, it will allow us to solve this problem by writing our own equation and then solving through our steps. So what we have is 2 1/2 of, so times, what number, we're going to call that Wn, is equal to 7 1/3. Now if you were to watch the video from lesson 56 again, you would see the problems looking a lot like this. Remember, what we have to do first, we've got to change our mixed numbers to improper fractions. So 2 1/2, that's the same thing as 5 halves. So we're going to get 5 halves times Wn. That's going to be equal to, we've got 7 1/3. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 more is 22, so we get 22 over 3. Now we want to get Wn by itself, so we have to multiply by the reciprocal of 5 halves. The reciprocal of 5 halves must be 2/5. So the 5's cancel, the 2's cancel. Okay, we're left with just Wn on the left-hand side. Everything else is equal to 1. And then what we do on one side, we do on the other. So we're going to multiply the right-hand side by 2/5. Now we can go ahead and figure out what our answer is. We can't simplify this before we multiply, which is fine. All it means is that when we get our answer, we know we won't be able to reduce it. So we get 22 times 2, that's 44. 3 times 5 is 15. We get 44/15. We could go ahead and box this and call it our answer. If you wanted to change it to a mixed number, you could. If you wanted to change it to a mixed number, you get an answer of 2 and 14/15. And either way is fine. You'll get full credit for that improper fraction answer or for the mixed number answer. Let's move on to our next example. Here we have 2 1/5 of, so multiply, 8 1/5 is, so equal to, what number? Now this problem is actually easier than the last, even though it's our second example. It's easier because watch this. 2 1/5, 2 1/5 times 8 1/5 is what number? The reason that this is easier is because what number is already by itself. All we have to do to find out what it is the multiplication. We multiply 2 1/5 times 8 1/5. We've already found out what our answer is. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to change to improper fractions because we always multiply with improper fractions and not mixed numbers. So 2 1/5, that's 11/5. 8 1/5. Well, 8 times 5 is 40, plus 1 more is 41. So we get 41/5. Now we look at this, we think, can I simplify before I multiply? Well, you can't take 5 into 41, and you can't take 5 into 11, so you cannot. But the okay thing about that is it means you won't be able to reduce or simplify your answer. So let's go ahead and get the denominator first, because that one's easy. 5 times 5, that's 25. 11 times 41, that one's also easy. If we remember our trick with 11s, we know our answer is going to be 451. But if you didn't remember the trick, you could say 41 times 11. 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 1 is 4. We've got a 0 as a placeholder. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 4 is 4. We're going to get 451, just as we saw here. Now we can box our answer. 451 over 25 is equal to Wn. I would encourage you to leave your answer here as a mixed number, as an improper fraction. If you would like to turn it to a mixed number, you may, but you don't have to. Remember, the textbook will report all the answers like this as improper fractions, so you can too. Now, The rule that we have when we multiply by 11s is to take the number you're multiplying by 11 and then add the two numbers together to figure out what you get in the middle. So 11 times 41, all I'm going to say is 4 is going to be my left-hand digit, 1 is going to be my right-hand digit, and the digit that goes in the middle is going to be 4 plus 1. So we get 451. That's all there is to it for our trick for 11s. So say we had, let's say we had 33 times 11. Well, 3 on the outside, 3 on the inside, 6 in the middle, because 3 plus 3 is 6. It's a pretty neat trick. If you can remember that one, it will save you some time when you're going through these problems. Alright, our lesson practice is page 184. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.